Today was Team League. I don't want to talk about it. That being said, I do want to show this picture. It's like now my favorite picture ever. So you'll be seeing this picture a lot. You can't stop me! Well, I mean, the show this picture is from could, but yeah, please don't. Anyways, so before we get into this week's episode, I'm telling you right now, there's not a ton of substance to talk about. So, before we do, it's time to play a little game. But first up, the backstory to that game. Now, I watch these every week on Crunchyroll. Why? Because, well, I'm paying for Crunchyroll, so might as well. However, for some weird reason, Crunchyroll didn't update with the newest episode. I don't know what the deal is there. It's not super important because I can watch this on YouTube, and I don't know how many people actually watch Cardfight Vanguard on Crunchyroll. So I went to YouTube, knowing full well that Bushiroad likes to put commercials for their product in their episode. That's fine, that's their prerogative. These commercials, however, left me a little more confused than anything else. So before we get into this week's episode, it's time to play another round of What the Fuck is Bushiroad Doing? Yeah, these bothered me. These really did. First up, the commercial for the next extra booster, which will be giving us the new Royal Paladin and the branch shit. What the fuck is with Aichi's voice? What happened? Like, could they not get the voice actor back? Is something wrong with the way they're recording it? It just sounded really off and really weird. It somehow sounded like his testicles retracted back even further into him. Next, Takudo. Why does Takudo sound like he's got a sore throat and is taking way too much Ambien? He didn't seem that threatening in the sub. I can only imagine what he sounds like in the dub. That ain't good. Next, the Revival Collection commercial. I got nothing. I just really need to open packs of that for premium, and the wallet can only take so much. Anyways, next question. Buddy Fight. Is this show done? Because they're not updating episodes. And I looked at that new cards coming out. I'm very behind on the Buddy Fight meta. But are you as Buddy Fight players worried that your show may be kaput and if that will mess up the release schedule in the future? That one's more of an opinion question. I am genuinely curious. So, next question. Why is there so many Weiss Wars commercials in this? They did like 4. Like, why are there 4 Weiss Wars commercials? It's the least popular of the 3. Surely Bushiroad has to know that all we care about is using them for waifu tokens. What's going on there, man? And when's the JoJo deck coming out? I want that shit. Finally, Bermuda Triangle. Is anyone falling for this act that Bermuda Triangle is all cute, adorable, and lovable? Because I'm not. It's freaky. It's weird. I know what you use that clan for, Bushiroad. I know. So when you're like, they get different outfits, and their SP cards are like one big mural. It's weird. It's freaky. Stop it. Also, this is a side note. I am slowly trying to get through the G-Dub, and in the G-Dub, currently where I'm at the end of Season 2, and they're doing commercials for the year the Bermuda set, their SP cards had wedding dresses. That has nothing to do with this, but, why the cringe? Anyways, so this week's Vanguard episode, not a lot of substance, but a lot of fun. So let's just talk about what really stood out to me. First up, the fight between Naoki and, let's go with Glasses Girl. So Glasses Girl, not gonna lie, if Misaki wasn't in this show, I'd be into that. I like that shit. Now, obviously, she's got an advantage because she was a Neo-Nectar player, so therefore all her main Vanguards are Tits McGee. But, not gonna lie, them glasses, that magenta hair, that I will crush your scrotum if you get anything less than an A, you pleb. Oh god, that gets to me. That gets me. So, that being said, I thought that was a cute, fun fight. I like the way sort of XL2 was used. I like kind of the way Naoki went in there with Daytonics at the end. But I sort of like this sort of idea that she has a crush on him. It's cute, and it's goofy, and it's kind of a fun way that she got into Vanguard. Yeah, it's a little awkward that a female character's entire motivation for playing the main focus of this show is just because she likes a boy. But I like that idea that there's sort of a ripple effect being caused by everything. Aichi gets Naoki into Vanguard. Naoki is a happier person. This then spreads to the next person who, from what we can kind of gather, is probably not a very open, not a very communicative person. So therefore, when she sort of gets in a little bit into Vanguard, and then he kind of befriends her, and then she can now play it with the rest of the club, because let's be real here, we know that's where this is going. Or at least that with the rest of the student council. That's kind of cute, and I like the fact that at the end of the episode, she didn't go full-on Cinder and was like, fuck off. She was just kind of like happy that he was talking to her, and that they could play Vanguard in the future. So that was cute. Then we move on to the Shingo versus Goofy Evil Eye Guy. And just when you thought I was leaving my girl, when I was straying from the path, my best girl comes in and steals the whole episode. I loved the scene where she thought the thing on his arm was from just these goofy light novels she reads. First up, I think it's really funny that you always see her reading, and obviously we know why. It's the character trait of the lonely girl who can't really connect to people. She just sort of buries her mind in books. Like, that's a very common trait, but they're never really gone into what she's reading about. So just this funny little gag that the complex, sad Masaki Tokura is actually just reading like typical YA novels is just really funny to me. And I like the fact that the actress who played Masaki got to be funny. Like, Masaki has been involved in jokes throughout the show's history, but for the most part, she's always very straight. She's always very stoic. So you can sort of tell the actress liked the chance that she finally got to just go full on, ham it up, get into a gag. It was just really funny, and I like that. It was just kind of a different take on things. So yeah, that was that. As for Shingo, though, I like that Shingo got some real character development. I like that he sort of was like thinking, okay, what's the logical thing to do, but what's the better thing to do? And ultimately, he kind of just had to go with his gut. That's kind of nice, considering Shingo isn't really a character who gets that much development. He's just always kind of there, ranging from goofy to unpleasant. So to see him kind of get some growth is a nice change of pace. I also like that there was a reason given for why Protect 1 is better to use in this situation than Protect 2. Normally, you'd think they'd want to push out the new product, so they just make it you never see the original gift markers again. But in an actual game, that's not true. There's been a lot of debate in the community as to which of the three things you'll want to use for different decks. And that is a very normal thing. So to see a situation where he had to make that choice, I think is good to see that represented in the show, because it's what we're going to be doing sooner rather than later. So that was all very good, and all in all, this was goofy comic relief episode, but I loved it. It was so much fun. And I can't wait to see what other shenanigans happen next week, though. Come on, can Matachis get some love, please? And then we know the guy's using Great Nature. So anyways, that was this week's episode. A lot of silliness, but it worked for me. As for the Vanguard question of the week, I asked it with Standard last week. What do you think will be the big decks in Premium for tomorrow at Bushiroad Springfest? I do not expect to do good in Premium. I think I've playtested that format once, but, you know, it's always interesting to know what will be doing good. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me on the road for Vanguard Excellence. I don't think there's any events in my area till a PPG in August, but we'll try.